Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Ooh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I wanna talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Corsicana, Texas. What's going on, Dallas Fort Worth? What's going on, Houston, Texas? What's going on with it? Welcome back to episode number 12 of the Burning Cold podcast. We glad that you guys are available and you guys are watching this show tonight for a very, very special episode of the Burning Cold podcast. This is where we talk about stimulated conversations. We also talk about hot topics. We also talk about trending topics, and we also talk about current events as well. So this is what we say what definitely needs to be said. I am your show host. I am the point guard of the show. I go by the name of Mr. Know-It-All. And let me go ahead and introduce our wonderful, wonderful co-host and our cast and the whole team of the Burning Coals podcast. We're gonna go with the first female of the Burning Coals podcast. She go by the name of Educated Queen. Give it a round of applause for Educated Queen.
Hey.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The second female that we have, we go by the name of Miss Queen. She's the smile forward. Miss Queen. Give it up for Miss Queen, everybody. The next person that we have is the shooting guard, the Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, all wrapped up in one. Better shot maker, gentleman, Jamal. Oh, I love it, gentleman. Jamal, bring that energy, baby. And last but not least, the genius, the big fella in the middle. He goes by the name of Bougie Weirdo B-Dub. Give it up for a round of applause for everybody on this beautiful Tuesday night. Look, listen, y'all. I am fired up for Tuesday night. I look forward to definitely working with everybody. And I get super excited, because, especially with the text message and everything, I'll be sending early at 9 o'clock in the morning. Because I'm like, man, look, we get to do something. And look at EQ. We get to do something that's special, man. And, putting our thoughts and our opinions out there to everybody and, become vulnerable. But you know what? We like to do that because we all family here. Ain't that right, y'all? Come on. We got to do that. So,
clap it up.
How's everybody Tuesday night going tonight? Y'all go ahead.
It's raining out here, so it's been real chill. It's been raining most of the day. We need the rain out here in the dub, so it's been a real chill day today.
Been a real chill day today. Y'all, man. What's going on out there already? What's going on out there H-Town, B-Dub?
Man, same thing. A lot of much needed rain. Kicking back, feet up, watching some TV, waiting for 8 o'clock.
Waiting for 8 o'clock, huh? EQ, what's going on back there in the hometown? What's going on out that way?
Shoes, nothing. Railroad crossings, train stopped on the track. Ain't nothing going on here. It's been the Tuesdayest Tuesday ever, But it's all good. I'm glad you're on the show tonight.
Right. Miss Queen, how's everything going out that way?
$2 Tuesday.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. $2 Tuesday. We need to be where you at now. Hey, so let me hold on before we get started with the show. All right, now listen. Okay, we gotta break I gotta let the cat out of the bag. Okay, all right. So yesterday was my birthday. Okay, so hold on, let me get my birthday. All right, but here's the thing. Okay, listen. I posted a comment on Facebook. Okay, because yesterday I had a family member reach out to me and say, "Hey, look, congratulations, happy birthday." Because they know for a fact my birthday and Michael Jackson's birthday is on the same day. And they know for a fact I love Michael Jackson. All right, that's my guy. So this individual family member now tells me, hey, man, and he's serious. I didn't think he was serious at the beginning. But he says, listen, Chris Brown and Michael Jackson. I believe Chris Brown is better than Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson is not the king of pop. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. That is blasphemy. and he was serious, y'all. He's serious, and he
No,
asked me to
he
put
wasn't
a post.
serious. He wasn't
No, he
serious.
was serious. He was serious on heart attack, Junior
I
Jamal.
got to cut camera on that one.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Right. So he asked me to put a post into the Facebook and on social media to do like a poll to see who's going to say who. And I kid you not, it was like overwhelming, unanimous decision, Michael Jackson over Chris Brown. And I'm saying to myself, Chris Brown he can't get he got to get past Usher and Genuine and Omarion before you even think about getting Michael Jackson. You know what I mean?
Well,
He got a Mario. He got a Mario.
Okay,
Yeah.
but still,
Usher
we
is a
talked-
discussion.
Yeah, Usher's a discussion, but Michael Jackson is the legend. I mean, you can't top Michael Jackson. There's no artist I know that can top Michael Jackson and Prince. Those are my two favorite. I'm just, hey. But Chris Brown can't even touch Michael Jackson. Not in my opinion.
Right. Hold on. Another thing. Look, we got somebody in the comments section. Queen Hollis Queen. Look, she was one of the people that said Chris Brown as well. I got on Hollis. I said, Hollis, I can't believe you said that. No.
Chris Brown said it himself. Forget what everybody else says. Chris Brown says that Mike Jack is the GOAT. So if the person you think is the GOAT is saying that this guy's the GOAT, then he's the GOAT.
Right. But Jim and Jamal, we should even have that discussion with
it's always going to be a GOAT discussion in any genre, any realm. There's always going to be. It's always a Mike Jackson or Michael Jordan, LeBron. It's always going to be a GOAT discussion.
Right. Now I can
sports. I'm like you. It's not even a discussion between Chris Brown and Mike Jackson. I will give Chris his credit. I will say he's the closest thing to a Mike Jack than any other artist. I will say that, but he is nowhere near Mike.
Man, I think I got him too far behind. It's almost like comparing Mike
Chris Brown. You can't use to my genuine over Chris Brown.
I'm just saying it. I'm just saying there's levels to it, Jim and Jamal.
And genuine ain't on Chris Brown level.
No.
Don't do that.
But listen. Okay, listen. All right. Now we're talking about comparing GOATs. Now, if you want to say comparing a GOAT with Michael Jackson and maybe Prince on talent level and stuff like that, okay, cool. Because that's pretty close. All right. They both got a nice catalog there. All right. And full of nothing but hits. And also they've created music for other people as well. All right.
Genuine ain't in that discussion.
No. Okay. Exile Genuine. All right. Exile Genuine. Okay. All right. But we're talking about comparing Michael Jordan, the Michael Jordan of entertainment versus maybe Ray Allen. Hey, that's not they two different tiers. You see what I'm saying? Two different tiers.
Like Chris Brown and Mike Jackson will be like a Michael Jordan and a LeBron.
No,
Right.
Comparison.
No, I that's what I was gonna say the same thing. And see, Usher is like Kobe. Because
Right.
everybody go Mike, LeBron, Mike, and then somebody be like, wait, hold up, how y'all gonna disrespect Kobe? It's kind of
true.
like that. You got MJ is MJ, Chris Brown is LeBron, and Usher is Kobe. That's
in
my
there, man.
my ranking.
He's in there. I don't know anybody want to do a versus against Usher. I think a lot
trying
of
to
people
tell
sleep on Usher, man.
Yeah, a lot of people don't want. Yeah, a lot of people don't want that smoke from him. Whatever. He already said it too. But in fact, I think he just did a video or something like that, social media saying he want to do it. But nevertheless,
Shout out
though, man.
to Usher. We got the same birthday. I just wanted to put that out there.
But yeah, you know, we want.
There you go.
Yeah,
with that
but,
foolishness. There you go.
yeah, but we want. Yeah, but we just had some fun with it. And I had to definitely say something about it or whatever. Just he know who he is. I'm sure he's watching the show as well. But I had to start that out with that and like, man, come on, man. We talking about blasphemous stuff here. But nevertheless, everybody, I know you guys come to see the show. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscription button. Make sure you share the content. Make sure you like. Make sure you can hit that comment section as well. And if you want to come on the show and be a part of the show, you see down at the bottom, you see the little scrolling banner. There's a link at the top of the comment section. You get in there, we'll bring you in. You can ask your question. You can say hello, how you doing? Talk with the crew, talk with the team, and we'll definitely let you in. And long as you be respectful, though, you got to be civil and not come here with no drama because it's not what we're all about. But nevertheless, we're gonna talk about today's topic of conversation, and you'll see it on the screen. Boom! There we go. The Hollywood agenda: black men wearing dresses, and we definitely got to talk about this one. Now get back on here, Jim and Jamal. Now don't leave us hanging now. Oh no!
It's
Come on
just
back with it
foolish.
now.
Get back on him.
It's too early to be
Yeah.
running.
Come on back.
Look at get back on him.
Oh, he's something
So
else.
here's what we have.
Really?
So here's what we're gonna definitely talk about today because we got some videos that's going to definitely back up everything that we're talking about during the show tonight. And we're gonna definitely we'll watch those shows, we'll watch those videos, and we'll definitely give you our opinions and talk about everything that happened on the show as well. And also we'll be interacting with you guys with questions and stuff like that that we do have pertaining to this topic that we are doing tonight. But the Hollywood agenda, black men wearing dresses. Here's what I came up with to open up this dialogue, this conversation. We all love going to the movies. We are, especially with our families and friends and things like that. We go to the movies at night or a matinee or something like that, or whatever. But you see that Hollywood is not only in the big screen, but also on the shows that we watch inside our home. You have shows, on Hollywood, big movies that's made it. We're talking about shows like Big Mama's House. We're talking about shows like there's a show back in the early 2000s, maybe late 90s, but there's a show called Juwanna Man. There's a show, The Nutty Professor, where Eddie Murphy, he does different scenes on the during the dining table scene, whatever, but he plays like 2 or 3 different women on there. And also TV shows we used to watch growing up, talking about like shows like Martin, shows like Jamie Foxx show. With Martin, you had Shanae. With the Jamie Foxx show, you had Wanda. What else am I missing? There's different
In Living
shows.
Color.
Living Color is another show. I mean, it goes on and on and on. But the common denominator in all these different shows is, number one, and you see it, it's a black man wearing black dresses. Now, this had been going on since the early 90s all the way until now. So, with all that being said, to everybody and the viewers as well, the first question I guess ask you is this, all right, with the Hollywood agenda. Why Hollywood is pushing this dress agenda on our race and no other races? We're going to open it up like that. Why Hollywood is pushing this dress agenda on our race and no other races?
Oh, well, I'll go first because the thing about it, we have to clarify because we're not the only ones that do it. It's a tradition that's old as theater itself. But the question is, why is it being specifically promoted to us now? I think that's the real question, and I have my thoughts about it. But I'm gonna sit back for a minute and then I'll speak later.
Well, I'll say this. We can't forget about Mrs. Doubtfire. We can't forget about Tyler Perry. I don't think it's such as just with our generation. I think what has happened is it's like Bougie Weirdo said, it's been something that has been going on. It just has not been going on in the US. So like if you go to different countries like Japan, you have some of those gentlemen wearing skirts. In Switzerland, you have some of those gentlemen wearing skirts. So I don't think it's just with our gender, because basically we have our own opinions. We have our own options. It's something that they are choosing to do to get a crowd, to get the crowd to watch. And as a parent or as a educator, we have to educate our children and let our children know, look, this is not the proper way. This is for entertainment. So
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead, Pam. Go ahead.
Okay. I think with that being said, like you said, in other countries, I think we're talking, okay, let's go cultural versus agenda. That's what we have. In those other countries, skirts, kilts, or whatever they call them, those things are culturally related. Whereas there's a specific agenda in Hollywood being pushed. Yes, to draw crowds. Yes, to entertain. Yes, but you also have brothers, whether they white, black, Hispanic, or whatever, in these roles, in these dresses, in these makeups, who actually make fun of women who's been in those situations, in those roles that they are playing. See, if to us it's entertainment, but to some, like, say, let's say Tyler Perry, all right, because he mimics one of his relatives. But for someone who's been in those situations where they've been raped or you know, whatever that role that he plays, of the family members, I forgot what all he said that relative had gone through. But to somebody who's been through something like that, that's not funny. And for the narrative that's being pushed and the agenda that's being pushed, it has been taken too far. Because do we really want our sons growing up thinking that that's okay for you to wear makeup, for you to wear a skirt? So we have to, we have to be in charge of what our children, even ourselves. We can't even just put it off on our children. We have to put it on ourselves as well. We have to be careful what we entertain, because if we entertain it, if we're entertained by it, then that means we agree with the narrative that's being pushed here.
Just like just like you said, it's culturally different from a kilt or a kimono, because the dress is not attached to a male acting a feminine way. That's the difference. And Hollywood, or Hollyweird, as the title is shown, it's historically men have played female roles, or played males, appearing trying to be females historically. There is an agenda that's been very recent that goes deeper than a male wearing an outfit. And that's a deeper conversation than, okay, they wearing a dress, so what, right? Jamie Foxx played a female character in Living Color, not in the Jamie Foxx show, but in Living Color. And but nobody, it was funny, right? It didn't hit no kind of way. It didn't make anybody feel a way, like, the same we say about Martin. Martin played Shanae, but it never made anyone feel like, Martin had to do that in order to be a star, right? Now it's almost like a rite of passage, or it's thing that they are forcing upon, our community, like, okay, this is what you have to do, et cetera, et cetera. That's just, something that's being, tossed around, but it's deeper than just them wearing a dress, because as an actor or actress, whatever, you have to be comfortable in playing whatever roles, right? It's not about that per se, but it's a whole agenda, a deeper agenda, a way deeper agenda than just a man wearing a dress to portray a role. So we'll say, like Boogie said, we'll say that for the second half of that.
Well, I can tell you, to me, it seems like the agenda is that, because we know who Hollywood and we know who runs Hollywood. All right, that's number one, because Nick Cannon, he made that very clear about who runs Hollywood.
I don't know who runs it.
Oh, you know who run Hollywood. You know who run Hollywood. All right. So I can tell you this. It ain't us. I can tell you that much, because if it was us, Nick Cannon would have been protected if it was us. But he said what he said. He said, I believe it was DJ Vlad or somebody that got mad about what Nick Cannon has said, who was running Hollywood. But nevertheless, Nick Cannon, we know who run Hollywood, because that's who he said. But the agenda is this. All right. And I feel this 100% conviction about it is that the people who run Hollywood, they are very, very afraid or terrified of the black man or whatever, because the black man is we're this symbol of strong, being strong and black and so they look at us like, you know what, man, there's something about this guy, and they don't they don't care nothing about it. Seems like they don't care nothing about the talent. That's fine and dandy, whatever, but it's almost like they get a hard on or they get a kick out of being able to say, look, to throw money in somebody's face and to try to control them and say, you know what, listen, yes, I'm afraid you whatever, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in the dress, because now all my insecurities, all the things that I said about this person, if I put them on a dress and put them into a dress, it's almost like, okay, my fears can turn into my laughing and tears at you. You see what I'm saying? And for them to be their sense of security can be on a comfortable level, because a lot of these people
Superiority
that's
complex.
running Hollywood are very, very they hide behind the fact that, okay, we have their money is their power, their money is their defense mechanism, and we're gonna throw it at y'all whatever, because we know for a fact, yeah, they feel like we'll do anything for money or to get noticed and so on and so forth or whatnot. So I
Right.
believe that that's the reason why they push that. That's their agenda. That's their main agenda, is to make them feel some type of superiority or feel very comfortable or more than comfortable when it comes to us, because we make them uncomfortable. Let's make
But
that very clear. We
But
make them
that's
very
that's that's
uncomfortable.
society. That's society. That's the societal norm. Is if I want to feel better, I got to do something to bring you down. Like I'm not trying to go up where you are. I want to bring you down where I am so I can feel better. But the thing about it is, like G Man was saying, is context, right? Because you mentioned Shanae and Wanda, but you got Wanda was a character on In Living Color that was ran and written by us. That's why it didn't feel weird, because
Right,
Keenan
right,
Ivory Wayans, he understood the comedy of it and
right,
how to make it funny and not gratuitous. And Martin is a perfect example, because Shanae was the same. Shanae was a similar character to Wanda. But now you go to Big Mama's house, because I'm be honest, when I saw Big Mama when I first saw her, I was kind of like, it felt unnecessary. And Dave Chappelle made a great point in his interview with Oprah, about National Security, the movie he did with Martin, coincidentally, and the scene where he was getting him out of jail and they wanted to put him in a dress, and he was like, it doesn't even make sense to the scene. Like why are they pushing so hard for me to put a dress on? And it's not even funny, let's just do it a different way. And ultimately they end up doing it a different way. So I think that's the difference. Because, like we said, even go all the way back to Shakespearean times, there were no female actors or actresses. That wasn't a thing. Everything was men. So every role was played by a man, even the female roles, right? And we seen Dustin Hoffman do it. I think somebody mentioned Mrs. Doubtfire. So it's not like it's just us, but I think we've come to the next evolution, because it started with we. If you saw a black man on TV, he was what? A criminal, drug dealer, drug user, a deadbeat, wife beat. That's the only roles we could get. So now you put that image out there, and people have started to adapt that and believe it. It's like, okay, now this is the next evolution to emasculate and effeminize. So you're to your point, you're absolutely correct. There is an attack on the black man. I don't want anybody to get that misconstrued. It definitely is. But I think this is just the next evolution of it, because we do see more now. At least I feel like there's more of a push to get a black man in a dress versus when Dustin Hoffman did it, Tom Hanks did it in the show Bosom Buddies. Those were all. It made sense, and it was like, okay, this is art, this is whatever it is. But now it's kind of like why? Like it's unnecessary, and not just the dresses, also portraying black men as gay. That's the other part. Like it's a lot of it is just gratuitous and unnecessary, in my opinion. That's why I think it's yeah. I said it. I said it.
But we all can make our own decisions. These Hollywood people, when they present this money to them, it's their decision if they want to take it or not. They don't have to take that money. They don't have to take what's being offered to them, or they don't have to be going and this, because the role is presented to them before you even pay. So it's their decision if they want to put this dress on, or if they don't want to put this dress on, or if they don't want to do this for entertainment, because they can make their own decision as to I'm not doing this, plain and simple. I don't want to do this. So this is something we can't blame anyone for them making their own decisions on what role they want to play in. Because hey, if I present you a role and say, hey, I want you to put on a dress, I want you to do what Cliff are doing in P Valley, whatever, it's your choice. You can tell me no. You can tell me no. Or you can tell me, oh, well, I want to get this money. I'm gonna run this bag up and do whatever I need to do to run this bag up. But we all have choices.
Facts.
So it's up to them.
Right. And you know what? And Miss Q, I definitely agree with you. We do have choices, but sometimes it seems like, and I'll give you an example. As far as like when you use your power to override a person's choice, and we're talking about, and you take that decision away from them because of your power, and for a fact that for a fact that that person is in the industry and that person is trying to make a living. And I'm giving you an example of that, who's I felt like this gentleman, his power was taken from him and in front of his wife. We're talking about Terry Crews. Y'all remember he went on social media, and also he went in front of a lot of social media platforms and put a lawsuit on somebody in Hollywood because they grabbed the family jewels right there in front of his wife. He said that he didn't ask for that. Matter of fact, he said if he was very offended to the point to where he was wanting to get ready to throw hands, but he didn't take it to that level.
And listen,
that's what he said. We have to go by what the man said. But
this man, hey, that's not a good example. Because me and Terry Crews are very similar in size, except he's probably way, way stronger than me. And I promise you, that ambulance would have been needed on the scene.
I heard it, but he
undercover. Undercover.
Nah.
I will say this.
Nah.
And take it for what it's worth. The agenda is, you have to understand, the more brothers, and I'm gonna speak brothers, the more brothers I put in dresses, the more the narrative is, or the more it becomes acceptable for other brothers to do that. And over time, you are destroying the family structure. So because if we keep putting brothers in dresses and skirts and makeup and laughing, then the family structure, the generations are being destroyed. Because if there's no man, there's no woman, there's no procreation. So that's the narrative and the agenda that's being pushed here. We got to wake up and say, hey, you know what? This is not right. If that's what you believe. Now, if you is all for it, now they took let me just say it like this. They took the entertainment piece out of it and twisted it. And so that's why it's not acceptable. That's not why it's not funny to me. Because now if you go on Instagram, that's all you see. So how are we supposed to keep the family structure going if our brothers don't want us, sisters? How do we, if we laughing at the ones out here in dresses and makeup and twerking and acting like us, then that's a problem. That's on us. Because we entertain that. We handicap that. We help Hollywood push this agenda. That's our fault.
And that's a great point, because we ain't even talked about the social media aspect of it and all of the Back a couple of years ago, during the height of the pandemic, a lot of young, we'll call them social comedians or Instagram comedians or whatever, a lot of them gained a huge following off of doing exactly that. Dressing up like women, acting like women, and it's crazy because it's not even a good representation, because that's the excuse that a lot of them use. Oh, it's about proper, fair representation, but only almost less than 1% of the population is gay, and we're speaking openly gay. Of course, there's some that we may not know about or whatever, but just based off of that means y'all are getting overrepresented. So you really shouldn't hardly see it that much if it's a true representation of America and of the world. If you only make up 1% of the population, but it's 80% of what you see on TV and movies and on social media. So it's got to be an agenda, because it ain't about representation. But think about this: we dealing with Roe versus Wade being overturned. It's
Right.
white fear.
Right.
Force white women to have their babies, and create as many black men as you can that don't want to have babies. And what you got?
Right. Right. Hey,
First of
before we get,
all,
go ahead, Jim Jamal.
first of all, don't nobody want no babies. Fuck them kids. Now,
Get on my nerves. Get on my nerves. Why must you be like this?
Only on the Brandon
Why,
Cole
Gentleman
podcast.
Jamal?
Only on the Brandon Cole
Why
podcast.
must you be this way? What are we gonna do with you, Lord?
hey,
I'm with you though. I don't want no more.
shout out to Jonte Manning, Hollis Queen, and we have a question from Jackson Tawan. Go ahead, Mr. Know-It-All.
Oh yeah, that's gonna get ready to get to that. But it says, "Hello, beautiful people. How's everyone doing? I have a question. What about Tyler Perry put on a dress? What about Tyler Perry put on a dress? That's that man's prerogative. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. And I feel like with Tyler Perry putting on the dress and everything that he does with this Medea character, to me, Tyler Perry is fake. Medea is the real one. That's just how I look at it. Medea is better than Tyler Perry. So Tyler Perry, that's just something to give you some food for thought there. Tyler, what's his name? Tyler Perry. Yeah, he is and I'm not knocking the brother. He does what he does. I think he just put in a new studio out there in Atlanta, one of the big studios it is out there. Man, all praises, brother. That's your business and that's your thing. But to me, something just seemed a little off about him. And like I said, when he plays this character Medea, that's who Tyler Perry truly is. That's him right there. That's how I feel about it.
Don't everyone can relate to the character Medea though? Don't we all know a Medea in your family, right? We know, like,
right.
When he played it,
That's right.
he like, yeah, I know somebody. That's Medea.
Right.
I agree with, like, I get what you're saying, but I think people definitely can relate it to the character.
Right.
I won't touch the other parts of.
Right. And I'm not.
I think
Right.
I think for me there was a turning point, because I think in the beginning, and it came out of necessity. We got to remember, at least according to his version of how Medea came about, is that first of all, he couldn't afford to pay people when he was doing these stage plays and putting them together, and nobody really embodied that character the way that he wanted them to, so he just ended up doing it himself. But I think there was a turning point once Medea went Hollywood. It started kind of just getting like, because I was in there. I was in there for the first couple of movies, first 2 or 3 movies, and then it's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good on Medea. I ain't
Right.
Well, B Dub, I'm like you, B Dub. Yeah, in the beginning, I thought it was okay. I thought it was cool. But then, like you said, anytime Hollywood get a hold of something and they commercialize it and make big money off of it, it turns me off. It's a turn off to me. And I'm saying to myself, you know what? I know what this is all about, because I know, it just you see it done often with Hollywood. Just they get it, they dirty it up, they push an agenda. and it's like it's directed straight towards our people that look like us, and I'm just not for it at all. So I'm with you on that, B Dub. So Tawana Jackson also said, and the kids be seeing that and think that it's okay, and yeah, you know
That's the
that's
issue. Yeah.
right, and we all agree on that. She said it's everywhere, and she said yes. I'm thinking she was saying
That's
yes
when
to
the
somebody point we
parents
made.
like listen. There is nothing growing up. We saw men playing women,
That's
right?
right.
But it was your parents, right? That you can't let everything and influence you or your children or whoever, right?
That's right. That's right.
So you got like, okay, whatever they do is what they do, right? They're gonna do whatever they're gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
right? I always bring it back. We talked about the last subject. We talked about the school systems. Ultimately, it comes back to the home structure, comes back to the family, nuclear family,
That's
right?
right.
That negated all of that. It didn't matter how many times I saw Jamie Foxx uh, play his character or Martin play or whatever, right? It
Mm-hmm.
was what was if you doing what you're supposed to do at the house,
Come on, gentleman Jamal.
everything else is what it's supposed to be. It's entertainment.
That's right. That's
Right.
right.
Yep. You're definitely right about
I
that,
agree
Jimmy Jamal.
100%.
And
Yep.
who are we to judge? We cannot judge these people. These are choices again. We cannot judge this. The only thing that we can do is instill in our children this is not how it's supposed to be done. This is for entertainment. This is for entertainment. Again, I'm strictly on we all have choices. If you want to go around here putting on a dress as a man, that's something that you've been wanting to do. So it's your choice. It's your choice. It's your choice because at the end of the day, you the one have to walk outside and
But
face these people.
but here's the thing though, Miss Queen, and I heard exactly what you're saying about that. It's a choice, but there's consequences that come behind that choice as well. You know, if it's good, bad, or indifferent, there's consequences that come behind it. You know, because we're talking about, we're living in a generation of time now where social media is hot and heavy. You see the men, the men wearing dress agenda, all over the place, and it has the ability and the drive to be able to uh, effectively, and I'm talking about effectively, uh, you know, change a whole type of way we do things and cultural wise and stuff like that as well. It can definitely affect us. And these people know what they're doing that's in Hollywood to be able to, push what they're pushing out here because, and when you talk about Hollywood agenda, that's a whole bunch of Hollywood agendas that they push on our people, and we're talking about a lot of these agendas that they're pushing. It to me, it's almost like it's going to set us back, and that's the problem that I have with the men wearing dressing like whatever, because I feel like it's it's part of the problem that we already have in our communities. It's
Well, you
part of
got
the
you
problem.
got to look at it this way too. It's similar to women in Hollywood because some of these people, this is what they want to do. This is what they've been wanting to do their whole entire lives is to be an actor or an actress. And then it's the same with women that get pressured into situations with these producers and directors because they want to get that role because that's their dream. So you got some of these men getting presented and then being told, because we know how Hollywood can do. One phone call and you'll never. Directors and producers have famously said that you'll never work in this town again. So it's like you're taking my livelihood away if I don't do it. And you got to. But at the end of the day, you're 100% right. It's still a choice. You got to figure out what's more important to you. But the reality is, for some people, money is more important. Money is
So,
they don't. Some of us don't care how it's gonna look, who it's gonna affect. That ain't my family. That ain't my child. I don't care what. I'm finna go get this money and take care of my family, and that's just their mentality. And we can't necessarily say they're wrong because that's their choice,
right,
right?
That's right.
It's wrong in our eyes. We probably wouldn't do it,
but
but we
but
can't
but
knock them for having that mindset.
No, we can't. We can't. But you know, why do we have to be the cultural race that our morals and our integrity and everything that we stand for? Why we got to sell out for some money? You know what I mean? We that is what is the number one problem in our communities. We don't take a stand for nothing. You won't see an Asian man. You won't see a Arab man or none of that. You're not gonna come to them with no money talking about, hey, put on this dress and and do XYZ or bring some type of negative light on your culture by putting this dress on, whatever. We'll pay you $100 some thousand, just for play a role or whatever. They ain't gonna do it. Us, we'll do it for pennies on a dollar. Break out in the
But
dress.
here's the
We'll
thing.
break out on the dress. We'll break out on the dress and say, okay, yeah, we got paid to do it, whatever, but yeah, look, I'm in a spotlight. Come on, we got to do something different. Go ahead. I'm
Well,
sorry.
here's the thing. That's okay. Here's the thing. In these days and times, it is accepted. Back then, when, like you said, Gentleman Jamal, with Wanda and Shanae, we really wasn't paying attention to that. We just thought, oh, it's funny. But in these days and times, it's accepted. This is what's going on today, as this dressing up in dresses, men dressing up in dresses. This is what's going on today, and it's being accepted by the world. It's being accepted. So what the question is, what? We have choices. We don't have to watch it.
I agree with
We
that.
don't have to look at it.
Right.
Right. I agree with that.
Facts.
I agree with
But
that.
also one thing about it, when these men and women, these actors and celebrities and whatever, when they get to Hollywood, and they start making a certain amount of money, they then become controlled by Hollywood. And sometimes it's a matter of, you are going to play this role. Sometimes they don't have a choice. And because once you get in, under the control of a certain reign, I'll say that, sometimes they don't have a choice. So,
You got a
sometimes
choice.
well, yeah, they got choice.
You better
Even
stop.
Ross and Johnson margarine, we drag them, we
better
bag them.
say
You
it.
see what I'm saying? So,
They know.
or there's some consequences or retaliation. So, sometimes the choice is not theirs. And that's the nature of the game. That's the nature of being in Hollywood. But I just wish, and yes, we have accepted it. I'll say we, because we all done laughed at it, been entertained by it. But at this point, the agenda that's being pushed, it's far deeper than what meets the eye on these shows. It's far deeper than entertainment. Because if you know the people that run Hollywood, if you know who they are and what they stand for, then this will make sense to you and you'll know
Who
why.
runs Hollywood? Nobody else.
The devil is a lie. The devil,
We know who runs Hollywood.
Use your
the devil. I'll just say the
imagination,
devil.
Jamal. Use your
We'll say the devil.
imagination.
He make me sick. He get on my nerves.
Listen, we got some comments that we're going to read in the comment section before we touch the video here, these videos. But Tawana Jackson, we thank you everybody for watching and commenting and also subscribing as well. Make sure you share this information and share this show to your friends and family members and let them know where to go for the best live and fire content, because we bring it every Tuesday, and we also do impromptu Thursdays as well. But nevertheless, Tawana Jackson says, yes, I tell my daughter it's not right, but you have a good road and a bad road to take. And she said also, remember, money ruled all evil. Exactly. We agree with you 1,000%, Ms. Tawana Jackson. Brooklyn Betty, and we thank you for joining the show. And thank you for coming as well. Brooklyn Betty says, it's definitely a choice, but I think if they choose not to do certain things, they may get blackballed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
That is a great statement there. That's a great comment there, Brooklyn Betty. A lot of us are afraid to get blackballed because we don't want to. It's all about that money. How we gonna raise our family? How we gonna do X, Y, Z? You see why Nick Cannon he backpedaled fast on that. They made him get on an apology tour, and that's what it was. And he was able to get his career back on the railroad tracks to get started. But they talking about pulling his what was that? What's the name of that show that he does?
Wilding Out.
Wilding Out.
He got a
Wilding
couple
Out.
shows.
Wilding out.
They were talking about taking a whole lot of stuff from this guy, and he backpedaled, and said, "Hey, look, I apologize for what I said. I didn't mean to hurt no feelings and so on and so forth." But he was speaking the truth.
Hey,
But I'll say this too. Go ahead.
Nothing to do with wearing a dress. I'm gonna put that out there.
Yeah,
Say it again.
The situation was not about no dress.
Oh, Nick Cannon. Right.
Nah, that was about the month of July.
Right. Yeah, that's what that was all about. It was about the month of July. That's right. Yep.
Month of July.
I will say this.
You lied.
I think part of the issue is too. I guess it's not an issue, but when those celebrities or those entertainers or whatever, when they get a dose of a certain lifestyle, and especially one that they've never had, and that when they start seeing those dollar signs, hey, if this is what I can make for making this movie, then if I make this movie and it has the potential to make 30-40 million dollars, then heck yeah, I'm gonna take this role. So again, there we go. It's like you think, should I or should I not? And I know for a fact that's the dilemma a lot of them are in.
Well, that's why knowledge is so powerful, because knowledge gives you choices. Because you're completely correct, EQ, but we got to talk about the reason why. The reason why is because we don't understand money. We don't know how money works. So for us, success is just keep getting money over and over and over again. We don't know how to take what we have and build something off of that. So that creates choices for you. When you don't need the bag, when you don't have to take that bag, it creates the opportunity for you to say, nah, that don't hit well with my spirit. I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that one. But if you out there blowing your money because you don't know the rules of the game, you really don't have a choice. I mean, ultimately, you do have a choice, but you kind of don't have a choice because you don't put yourself in this higher situation and you don't want to go backwards.
Mm-hmm. Right. Reputation.
But how much money do you? How much money do you need? You know what I mean? Like, but if you already this, you already this big time superstar, and they come, you worth over 200-300 million, and they come to you and say, hey, we want you to put this dress on for another 60-70 million. Well, do you really need? I mean, I know you want it, but do you really need another 67 million to put on a dress?
Okay. But you know what?
I bet you can't ask Denzel Washington to put no dress on right now. I bet you wouldn't do it.
That was the point I was going to make. We talk about Dave Chappelle. We're going to revert. I'm real quick because someone referenced Dave Chappelle, and that wasn't a dollar amount that would have made him do that. But that didn't. You can't blackball certain people, right? They try to blackball Dave. You can't blackball Dave Chappelle, right? When you get
they tried it though, Jim and Jamal. They tried it.
They tried it.
Yeah.
You can say what you want, right? It's not what you call them for the answer to. I do what I do, and you do what you do about what I do, right? He stood on something, and you couldn't cancel him, right? Shout out to Miss Barbara. Where's the integrity?
Hey, Mama Sims.
Hey, Mama Sims, and that's
Hello.
Do what you do. Stand on your square. If that's not what you're going to do, then there's not a bag big enough that you can throw at me to do it, right? And again, it's not, they can put out what they want. If you doing what you're supposed to do in your own household, and it's just the entertainment. Hollywood should not be raising your kids anyway. If Hollywood's raising your kids, there's a bigger problem than what Hollywood is doing. It's a problem at your own damn house.
Hey,
okay,
I think that's
stop right there.
Segue into the PR video.
I got a question.
Go ahead, EQ.
No, you're fine. So I get that. What we do in our houses is right. But you got to think what we see. If our kids, if we see it over and over and over and over and over, let's just take our own selves for examples. Our parents showed us right from wrong, but we still went out there and did our own thing. Our parents told us go out there and don't do this and don't do that. We still went out there and did what we wanted to do. So you can raise your children right, but again, it goes back to seeing things. Same things with these games these kids play, GTA and all that. If they keep seeing it over and over and over, after a while, they're gonna act on what they keep seeing. They're gonna go out and mimic.
Out there tell them that's a video game and that ain't real life. And if you do, what
how many kids obey their parents all the time?
You're gonna deal with real consequences, right? Let's not act like we didn't have. Like we came up in the era of explicit rap lyrics when this whole wall was being raised. And none of that said, you know what, we need to do it just because we heard it. No, because you know what? We had people around that said, that's a song, that's a movie. We had came up with colors and Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society and all of that. Right? But we had enough around us, whether it been internal, external, whether it's coaches, teachers, mom, dad, uncles, aunties, whoever, big mama, big daddy, to where if you were solidified at the house, you knew what that was wrong. It didn't matter what they put. It didn't matter what rap song you put out. I knew that was a bombing song. That didn't mean I was going to go do it.
That's right.
Well, listen up.
But we don't have the village today that we had back in the day. We just
we don't. Right. We're very weak. We weak.
That's a bigger problem than what Hollywood is doing.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's another conversation for another day. Get on my nerves. Hey, listen up. Viewers, down.
Viewers, listen, y'all are getting some raw stuff here. You know what I mean? So I know we are going to have to do a part 2 to this because we've only asked one question. We want to ask one question. We haven't even got to the 3 videos yet. We haven't gotten to none of these questions. So we're going to have to do a part 2, maybe a part 3 to cover everything that we need to cover here. So y'all need to make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure you get your friends and your family members to come over to the Brandon Coles podcast. And this is what we do, man. So this is y'all part of the family. Y'all are family. Make sure you come on over and subscribe, man, because, hey, you're not going to get no content like this nowhere else. So y'all got to definitely come on with it. So, Brooklyn Betty says making money is one thing, but I think for many celebrities, it's about status and remaining relevant. And that's a good point. That's a good point.
I agree.
Brooklyn Betty been holding us down, y'all. So she definitely been putting out some good comments. And yes, we definitely agree.
Brooklyn.
Much love. Tawana Jackson also said, you're so right. And she also says, yes, please. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get to the video with Pierre. He's a Hollywood actor. And he is talking about his opinions and how he feel about the whole dress agenda with the black man wearing dresses. So we'll go ahead and play it.
You put on the dress. That's not a problem with me to wear a dress in a movie. I play the character. Then why do you like?
It's comedy.
Then so you okay with niggas killing each other in movies that are on power and just selling drugs? You okay with that image? To be put out because wearing a dress is not illegal, but killing somebody and selling drugs is illegal, and you want to perpetuate that image and be okay with it? If a nigga put a dress on, it's like, hold up, it's too much.
I feel like a man that put on a dress is pushing. You're erasing the masculinity from the guys. When we put our black men in dresses, we strip them of their power. We strip them of their masculinity. And we strip them of their integrity. Now you just sit here and say you draw the line at integrity. What's your line?
Oh, my line is this: if you're an actor, you can do what you want.
That's fair.
If you're an actor, you can do what you want.
Exactly.
You're an actor. You're playing a character. If you want to wear a dress, murder, kill, that I say is all good to me. Now, what are we worrying about? Our young kids? Well, here's the problem. You need to teach your young kids. So if you have young kids, sit down and teach them the difference. Stop letting the TV teach them and society teach them. You need to take responsibility. You had that child, so take responsibility of that child. And say, you know what, son, this is what I don't want you to do, or this might be wrong, this is why he's wearing a dress, or the guy's murdering people, he's selling drugs, but this, that. You do that. But see, we don't want to do it. We want to be lazy. We want to say, TV, you do the shit. I'm sitting there smoking weed or doing what I want to. I'm out here fucking around. You, my kid, just watching TV. No, man.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Hey, okay. Listen. Pierre said a mouthful there, okay? And Pierre basically saying, look, hey, he don't see anything wrong with it because it's entertainment. And he's also saying, look, you guys need to put that responsibility. You got to raise your kids so that way you won't have to worry about this dress agenda that you're putting on us. But the ladies also had a point as well because they said, "Hey, look, we don't want our men to be feminists. I mean, demasculine. I mean, masculating these men and whatnot, and turning them into, taking the power and stripping them from their power, and whatnot." So they both had some good points there.
No,
all right.
No.
Now, go ahead, Jimmy Jamal. Go ahead. Jimmy Jamal.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, as he said, just like the athletes were saying. Oh, look at Mama Sim. She says, valid point. Some of my sons.
I bet not see G Bird in no dress. That's right, Mama. I know that's right.
How you gonna do Mr. Know-It-All like that? Now she said,
I know that's right, Mama.
Point, but I wouldn't want my son wearing a dress. Can you imagine Mr. Know-It-All in a dress? I cannot imagine Mr. Know-It-All in no dress. No way, Jose.
His hips wide enough, but anyway.
Go ahead, Jamal. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
He make me sick. He always want to go off screen. Get back on this screen.
Listen, I heard what both people were saying. I can't. And I don't really like to straddle the fence, but I'm on the fence with this one, man. Because Pierre said what he said. He had some damn good points.
Wait. He said it right. Listen. Like, even remember, was it Barkley or somebody like, the athletes are not supposed to be raising your kids. Entertainment, Hollywood, sports, rappers are not supposed. That's not their responsibility.
That's right.
If you want to do what you want to do, let them do what they want to do. Right? That's actors. Okay, if they want to play their role, let them play their role. They are not responsible for your freaking kids. As a parent, we put the responsibility on everybody else. It's the athletes, it's the rappers, it's the teachers.
It's the teachers. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Right? So it's your job.
But hold on.
Don't have them kids. Fuck them kids.
Y'all know what? I'm done. I'm gonna go to bed. This one here, I tell you.
Hey,
y'all know what?
Listen.
Just a mess.
To the people watching, enjoy this show because you might not see us for long.
Okay. Hey, we're gonna be on StreamYard jail, because we got that one personality on this show that don't want to do right, and then gonna go off screen. Get your butt back on screen. Crazy. But you know what? And I do agree. They both make valid points. And at the end of the day, we all got to get our bag how we got to get it because we got to take care of our children. But at the end of the day, I don't like the agenda that is being pushed. And you're right. And they are right. We do have to raise our children and teach them what's acceptable, what's right, what's wrong, without doing it in a judgmental fashion. However, we judge people and things every day, all day. We have to use judgment. Otherwise, that's part of our decision making. But I'm not saying we got to condemn them to hell because we have no heaven and hell to put people in and out of. But I just still think Hollywood has too much control over our men and women, and our men and women have accepted it and are okay with it. And as a result, we've been okay with it. And we have to draw the line somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a comment.
I want to throw this out there real quick, though. Because I agree. The parents, y'all know, I'm all for parents raising their own kids and taking the bulk of the responsibility. However, there is a certain responsibility, a certain level of responsibility when you put yourself out there in that limelight like that because people are watching. We was young on the basketball court sticking our tongues out trying to be like Mike. Kids nowadays, they trying to shoot from half court like Steph Curry. So there is a certain amount of responsibility that you do have to take. Ultimately, it do fall back on the parents. I agree with that part 100%, but I do think you have to be cautious of how you present yourself in the public when you're a public figure, whether it's an athlete, actor, entertainer, or whatever, because there are people that are going to follow you. And matter of fact, just today, I saw a video. I don't know if y'all familiar with the song F and F. I'm FREE. But if you don't, just look up F and F
like
song. No, that's how the song goes. That's how it goes. Basically, I'm F boyfriend. Nah, listen, I ain't here for your entertainment. I'm here for their entertainment. I'm here for their entertainment, not yours. No, but hold on though. But peep this out. So there was a video that I saw today. There was like 8 or 9, 10 little girls that look like they range from ages maybe 6 to 10 years old on top of a car replicating the video for this song. Twerking on top of the car, doing all this. And if you search it, don't worry about it. I send it in the group chat. You'll see what I'm talking about. So my point is, kids are watching whether we are supposed to be their role models or not, or whether they supposed to look up to us or not, or whatever. The reality is they do.
Right. They do.
And it's on the parents. It's 100% on the parents, yes, but it is also on people who are in the public eye to be weary of who's watching them as well.
Right. Well, we got a comment.
Kim, hardcore. Oh, I ain't don't.
But we had better. Listen, I'm gonna say. Hey, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. We had better parents back then because I'm agreeing with you because I was rolling down the street all day long, but I never smoked Indo and I never sipped on no gin and juice. Right. I just bopped to the music.
Right.
You know,
music.
Right. Because we were taught better back then and we was taught to be individuals. Nowadays, kids are taught to follow the crowd. The parents follow the crowd.
Yeah,
was taught
that's
to be
the problem.
Different.
That's the problem.
You know.
Right. So let me go ahead and read some comments in the comment section here. And we everybody in the comment section, we thank you for coming and joining the show, being part of the show and tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. And make sure you share the content as well. So Monique Smith says, we have to be responsible for what we allow our kids to participate and be entertained by and with. Yes, you are definitely right about that, Monique. Thank you for that comment. Monique Smith also says, Jamal, you are too much. And Tawana Jackson says she is enjoying, she's at work. Hey, we know what, we glad that we got you, and we glad that you're definitely entertained. But we also hope that we give you some knowledge and some understanding as well. So we appreciate that. She said she's seen that video. Brooklyn Betty says she also saw that video. And then Tawana Jackson says the parents wants to be their kids' friends.
Yep.
And yes, that's part of the problem as well in our communities, that a lot of these parents do want to be their kids. They want to be friends with their children. And, that's a recipe for disaster as well, along with a lot of different things that we do in our communities. That's part of the problem that's going on in our community as well. And again, we're not trying to put all the responsibility on Hollywood, but Hollywood is a different Hollywood industry, the rap industry, social media.
Kids.
There's a lot that is spoon feeding some of this behavior that we have in our communities. So that's part of the issue as well. So we're gonna move ahead. We're gonna move to the next actor. He goes by the name of Malik Yoba, and he is giving his opinion about men wearing a dress.
The roles that take me furthest away from who I am. It's easy. I can give you 55 different versions of a black man. How do you want them? Jamaican, African, Spanish, poor, white, well-spoken, hood, Southern, whatever. So in my one-man show, H0llyW, I play over 15 characters. My show is set in a therapist's office. One of the main characters is Gladys Rosenberg, who's an old Jewish woman. She's a therapist. That's me. I played 2 trans characters in it. play an old Spanish man. I play an old Italian guy. I play an old Jamaican woman. So for me, we're vessels. And the goal is to show humanity in all of its fullness. And I'm half man, half woman. My mother birthed me. I'm half of that.
Whoa, he kind of got me kind of confused there. The man say he half man and half woman. What in the hippo? Whoa,
let gentleman Jamal answer that. Let gentleman Jamal answer that one.
How in the this man say he half man and half woman? What in the man?
Confusion. That's confusion.
Hey,
Sorry,
man.
You know what though? The way he was moving in that chair, I'm tending to believe him. He was real spicy.
Well, you know, they had put that rumor out about him a long time ago that he was, you know. But anyway, yeah, that's straight confusion, y'all. I'm sorry, but you know,
right?
So
you mean but Malik Yoba's career been inside? He been in Hollywood for a little while. So did Hollywood confuse this man for him to, you know, say that he's part man and part woman? Is he talking about his movie career, or is he talking about outside of
anything goes in Hollywood? So I mean, why not? Anything goes in Hollywood.
That's why we call it Hollywood. You're absolutely right about that.
You know what I'm saying? So it could have been. When you start hanging around that crowd long enough, you become a part of it. Come on now. I mean, let's not play crazy here. That man touched. Y'all know that man. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm like you. He was moving side to side too much. Just
yeah, he
right.
Again, that's what he wants to do. That's what.
Yeah, you're right.
Let him do it. I ain't God, so hey, let him do it.
I never, you know, I've seen Malik Yoba. I've seen a few of his films, okay, but I never knew that there was something, you know, like that, because that really confused me about that brother. Because most of the movies that I've seen him in, I ain't never seen him play in a, a gay man or in a dress. I've never seen him in nothing like that at all, you know. So this is mind-boggling to me. I'm blown away for him to say something like that, because I'm saying to myself, man, the brother seems like he is definitely on something totally different, or he's in a whole other stratosphere with this, you know, wearing a dress type of gender.
Interview then.
Say it again.
You must have seen his Breakfast Club interview.
No, I've never paid attention to the guy, Jim Jamal. Seriously, never paid attention to him.
Watch his Breakfast Club interview.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Okay, yeah, the brother seems very confused about what's going on, and if he wants to feel like he's struggling with something. He's struggling with something.
No matter what, Malik Yoba, whoever put his name, her name here, they can let them be them. You do your job. You can only control you and do your job, right? Any team, you play your position. Don't worry about what he's doing or she's doing. You do your job.
That's right.
If he want to do that, knock your
God bless.
Right? It's a free country. Do what you want to do. Live how you want to live. I can't control that.
I'm with you, Brooklyn. I'm with you. Yes.
But Jim Jamal, let me tell you this though. Just from looking at Malik Yoba with this video that we just played, with the confusion that's going on with this brother, that's what happened in real life in our communities, man. A lot of us, hold on. A lot of us, you know, we are confused with our sexuality and our, you know, we struggle with gender, stuff like that with our man. That's exactly what's going on in our communities or whatever. So for that brother to say what he said, I can definitely understand and see why, you know, Hollywood is so impressionable on our communities, man. You know, that brother think confused, man. So we got a lot of people that, and I'm telling you how confused that we are. You know, Jamal, listen, this is how confused that we are. Okay, you remember a few years back when the school system was talking about a bathroom for different genders and for the same sex. I mean, very confused. They had males, females, and then, you know, transgender. And they was confused about if a man was able to go in a bathroom with the woman and vice versa. You see what I'm saying? So with those type of things that's going on in our communities or whatever, that's what we are faced with and fighting because of stuff like this confusion that's going on in Hollywood as well. They're very impressionable on us, is what I'm saying. Go ahead, Jim Jamal. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead.
What we are.
That's like your daddy whooping you and then be like, "You want something to eat?"
You're hungry.
Yeah. Go ahead. Somebody need to add on something on that.
Now, you know what though? I think this is what it is right here. We need more Muhammad Ali's and Colin Kaepernick's because we talk about money. We forget that Muhammad Ali gave up a whole career and went to prison to stand on his principle. Colin Kaepernick gave up millions and millions of dollars to stand on his principle, and they both did all right. We got to get over that fear of if I don't do this, my whole life will be over. Nah, because if you thorough and you stand on who you are, you're gonna always be all right in life, and that's a better example to me than selling out for some money.
Right.
And you can't control what somebody else does. They grown.
Facts. No, I agree. I agree
if
that we can't judge them, but they need to do more. Is what I'm saying.
I'm talking about like, okay, so if this actor or actress decides they want to do that, you can't stop them. There's nothing you can do. They want to do them, let them do them. Right? You're gonna have those who won't do it. All right, like you said, Denzel has never done it. Chappelle hasn't done it. Whoever. There are some that will. There are some who won't. Right? Ultimately, it's up to you, the consumers of the content, the art. Right? They put it out. The art is always judged by the consumer. Right? It's always subjective. It's always been subjective. I don't know why all of a sudden it's become objective. No, it's not. We can look at the same art piece. We can look at the Mona Lisa, and you may think it's the greatest thing, and I may think it's nothing, right? Basquiat, whoever. Art is whatever. It's up to the consumer, how you interpret it, how you take it in. You doing what you doing. It don't matter what somebody else. If somebody else can control you or your household with what they do, you failed. And I'm saying you failed. Period. If Hollywood can control your household, the industry controls your household, you are a failure.
Again, I'm about 80% with you. I'm about 80% with you because,
That's
like I said, I think, like I said, at the end of the day, most of the responsibility do come back to your circle and your household and your village. But if you see something over, like EQ said, let's look at it like this. Okay, like I said, I never went out and drank gin and juice or smoked weed or went did a drive by because of no music or because of what I saw in the movie. But I did rock a flat top because I thought it was cool. Because who was wearing flat tops? The rappers at that time. I just aged the shit out of myself, but that's what they would. So there is some things. I'm veteran. I'm seasoned. Is what I am. There's some things that are going to leak through at the end of the day. The question is what's going to leak through? How strong, to your point, how strong are you going to fortify your child with morals and values that you want them to have? Because something's going to come through. And if you don't fortify them strong enough, it could be something like, okay, I want to wear my hair this way because this person does, or I want to wear these clothes, or I want to do what this person is doing. See what I'm saying? So I can't take it fully away.
80, what we talk about, 80-20.
Okay, we can agree on that. I can do that. 80-20. But there's still some responsibility.
And everybody else controls 20%. That means I have a controlling stake. You're right. You can't control what your kids listen to, but I can also, like, this is right, wrong, this is how, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm still raising you. Hollywood is not raising my kids. The music industry is not raising my kids. Social media should not be raising your kids. They may be, like you said, 20%. I'm naive. Yes, your children will consume social media. But ultimately, it's your responsibility to be their moral compass or whatever. Use it for entertainment. Because like as you said, we came up through for real like gangster rap or whatever, like the movies, that's what it was. But that never once said I need to be rolling down the street smoking. No,
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. You know, it makes
Right,
you
right.
the shoes they was wearing, or wear the hairstyle, or wear the jeans. But nothing about that said, because of what I had, the foundation that my parents laid, that said that's entertainment. You better your behind better be in that school. I know that, and I better not get no calls from that school. And if I did get a call from that school, you gonna get something put on your behind when
Yes.
you got back home. They were involved. Okay, so it didn't matter what the industry said. I thought it was cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'm tough. Until I got home to mom and them, I'm straightened up. I'm taking everything off, pulling my pants
Right.
up. I'm not listening to nothing. I'm code switching, right? Because of what the foundation was at home. I think once we start giving everybody else this kind of out, no, don't give them no outs. Raise your kids or don't have them. Stop having them. If you can't raise them right, don't have them. But if you do, it's your responsibility to raise them jokers.
Right.
How they gonna do it?
And at the end of the day, we as parents can do everything possible and instill in our children to do the right thing. But at the end of the day, when they get older and they are exposed to the world, they are going to do whatever it is that they've been wanting to do, regardless, whatever we instill into them.
Period.
Right.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Listen, you guys, listen. The viewers, you looking at some fire content. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you go to the Brandon Coates Podcast on YouTube. Hit that subscription button. Hit the like button. Hit the comment button. Hit the share button as well. And so that way you can definitely let us know exactly how you guys feel about the show. And also, you see at the bottom,
that's right.
The Brandon Coates Podcast at yahoo.com. You can definitely send your questions there. Let us know how you feel and how you like the content as well. Before we get to this last and final video, we're going to read out these other comments that we have. You have Tawana Jackson said, "My kids think I'm so mean, but I'm hard on mine. Keep doing that too.
That's all right. They'll understand when they older.
Because the police ain't gonna raise them like you do. I can tell you that they're gonna be brutal to them." Brooklyn Betty, a while back, he admitted to being in a relationship with a tranny. I believe she's talking about Malik.
Oh,
Yogi.
yeah.
That's
he sure did.
He sure
that's
did.
what I was talking about.
Yeah,
wow.
he sure did.
Man, so he pulled a Warren Sapp on us, huh? One Jack said, "Amen." So we're gonna look at this final video. This guy, I think his name is Manuel Nunez, but he played in Juwanna Man, and he also played Biscuit on Life. So this is gonna be a good video here. Old Biscuit on Life. So we're gonna see what he say.
Don't be
He's talking about the black man wearing a dress.
Eyes front, mister.
Eyes front, mister. Look at that. Hey, let's look at old Biscuit, all right?
Men wearing dresses. You happen to be one of the most famous to wear a dress, being Juwanna Man. How do you feel about that? And do you feel as though it puts a bad stigma on the black male persona?
Okay. I think that because black men have been so marginalized and black men have been so stigmatized and all of that, I think that we do have to watch out for that. But you guys on what the role is. Like, you remember, Juwanna Man was a guy dressing up as a woman so he could continue his career and he could do that. Now, if somebody would have told me, like right now, I don't have a problem with, I'm a Christian. I firmly believe that a marriage between a man and a woman, but I believe it's not my position and it's not anybody's position to tell anybody what they should do with their life. Really, let me tell you how I got that role. Mm-hmm. Will Smith had told me for years, you got to start playing golf, Miguel. You got to start playing golf, Miguel. You got to start playing golf, Miguel. That's where the big role is. The first time I ever went on a golf course, ever. I took him up. This is years later. I took him up on his word, and I went out and I hired an instructor. And the first day I'm out hitting, this guy taps me on the shoulder and says, "Hey, my name is Jesse Vaughn. I'm a director. I'm doing this movie called Joanna Man, and I would like you to come in and screen test for it."
Wow. So you heard from Biscuit himself. So listen. So did you pay attention to what he said? He said that Will Smith had told him how that he can make his career get to another level at a golf game, or where all these directors and some of these big wigs that's in Hollywood, where they kind of meet, congregate, and you do God knows what at those country clubs. All right. So he said that he got the role of Joanna Man from a director that was there at the golf game where he golfed at. How do you guys feel about that? Because he said he specifically named Will Smith on it. All right.
A lot of deals are made on the golf course.
Say it again.
Business deals are made on the golf course. That's
Oh yeah, you business deal. You correct. We all talking. Yeah, it was a business deal. No, yeah. And hey, and guess who got the keys? Guess who got the keys? Guess who got the keys to that business deal? You never know, man. We could have. You never know. I don't put nothing past none of these gatekeepers, man. And we'll talk about that in another show. But it's mighty funny that Will Smith's name is attached to this, because the Smith family has been known to be, Hollywoodish. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? Somebody say something in the comment section there.
No.
What? What, man? I'm finna walk off the set, man. They say the Smith family are some of the weirdest people in Hollywood. So,
but it's like, everybody's trying to get there, right? And just in business, most businesses, no matter what it is copycat. If this corporation, if we made $500 million selling cups, but this other company over here made $750 million selling cups, they selling, we got to figure out, they send people to figure out, okay, what are they doing that we not doing, and then we're going to implement some of that in our company because we want to sell $750 million just like they did. It's the same in Hollywood. And so it's interesting that he said that, because Will Smith's first big movie was 6 Degrees of Separation, where he played a gay guy. And at the time he was already the Fresh Prince. He was already selling a lot of records. So, but
that's his first big role.
Well, first major.
Introduce him to the
that kind of put him in a different sphere, because he wasn't the Fresh Prince. And he said it himself in the interview. He said he didn't want to get stuck. Like, he's seen people get stuck before, and whatever they get famous for, this is what they are forever. So it was important for him to do something different to show that he had acting range, that he could be an actor or whatever. And he chose this movie, and he just happened to play a gay guy. And after that point is when his rocket started taking off. So I can understand. I'm not agreeing with it. Let me be clear. But I could see how somebody coming behind him and say, okay, well, he did it. Well, maybe it'll work for me, to go all the way back to the beginning to what EQ said. That fellowship, like, I want to. We normalize it. So and from the studios, okay, we got Will Smith to do it. Okay, we got Miguel Nunez to do it. Okay, we got this person to do it. And the more you see it, the more it becomes normalized. And it's like, okay, well, this is just what it is. So you become to accept it. Again, I use the same example, going back to the women in Hollywood. These things, everybody heard about these weird Hollywood parties where stuff go on and crazy stuff kind of happen. And you got these female actresses that are huge, that had to do some grimy stuff that they probably was not uncomfortable with to get there. But it's like, oh, well, Meryl Streep did this. Oh, well, Angelina Jolie. I'm just making up now. I don't know if they did anything, but I'm just saying, you see these big stars, so then it becomes normal. It's like, okay, that's what it is. I got to sleep with a director to get the movie. I got to do this. I got to go to this party and do this. So it becomes normalized as this is the process. And it's the same over here. If you get so many people to do it, now it becomes normalized that this is the process. Oh, okay, well, if I'm black, I want to be popping in Hollywood, I got to put a dress on. But no, it's not. Like, somebody got to have some integrity somewhere and stand on some kind of line.
The top, listen, Denzel has been the top of the Hollywood. We see, I'm gonna say all of Hollywood, especially, but we're gonna be specific in black male or black. He's never put on a dress or played a LGBTQ character. So I don't think that you have to do it to be in amongst Hollywood elite, right? You just let your work, like we always talk about, just do the work. Just do the work. If you want to do it and maybe you may knock it out the box. It's not a lot of Denzels. I'm not saying that. I don't think Will Smith had to do that character to get the other roles. It wasn't his first role. It wasn't his most known role or whatever. Maybe Jamie Foxx. I don't know. He was super talented. Jamie Foxx was a triple threat. He can sing, act, and funny. Right, that was a little blip, and okay, that was a part of him, sure, but it didn't make him, it didn't define him. It's not what carried him, right? So I think we get it mixed up when we confuse the art, that's being artists, true artists, with okay, they're trying to push an agenda, right? He played a role. Okay, the role. Sometimes the roles don't hit. Juwanna Man. To be honest, did it hit? I would say no. I'd say it was a flop.
Jim and Jamal, I think Hollywood.
The other man was a flop.
I think Hollywood. I think Hollywood is the one who mixed up the art with the artist, and I think that Hollywood do push that agenda. And they do have.
Push it on Denzel.
Here's the thing.
Oh, I'm sure it probably did.
It's more of a go. You have to go along to get along.
Denzel didn't do it.
You don't go if you don't. But we're not talking about just Denzel. We're talking about a lot more other artists.
The number one artist the number one actor was Denzel. He didn't go along. You can stand on your own principles and say no if you want to.
No, hold on. No. Because Denzel. Well, first of all, shout out to Miss Jackson. She said she got to go back to work.
Good night.
She got to jump off.
Jackson.
Appreciate you.
Night.
But
on the show.
Denzel is the most respected actor. Denzel is not the richest actor. Some of the richest actors, Will Smith, Kevin Hart. All people who put on the dress, but at the same time too, I guarantee you, they probably
for a role that hit,
huh?
They put on the dress to go along to get along. They don't want to
get to that other side of the gate. But right, because listen, Denzel is super talented, right? And I agree with you that I don't think Will Smith had to do it. I don't think he knew that he had to do it, or you know what I'm saying? Like he felt like he did. I don't think he did.
He didn't have to.
But we're talking about anomalies because actors come a dime a dozen. So they gonna put it out there.
Name me one actor who you feel had to put on a dress in order to be popular.
Miguel Nunez, the one we just watched.
But no, you can't use him because he is LGBTQ. We're talking about a straight male who's having to do that. Miguel is.
How you gonna out that man like that?
How you gonna How you gonna judge that man? That man, you don't know that.
He said it.
Did he?
He said, I'm a Christian. I believe marriage should be a man and a woman. But he played the role of Juwanna Man. He said that.
And why you gotta bring Christian in? Why you gotta bring Christianity in it?
I'm just repeating what he said.
Why you got to bring Christianity in it?
But I'm just repeating what he said.
That was the choir director in the church. You go to this Sunday, so what?
I don't go to church, so So that ain't my. But I'm just repeating what the man said. I'm not. I was just being facetious, but I mean that's just what he said. But
Yeah.
yeah, we
But
know
we're
he'll
talking
do cupcake. But
we talking perception versus reality, though, right? The reality is nobody has to do it.
right.
But the
Get back on this line, Jamal.
perception is if I do it, it will boost my career. So that's the perception. So that's what we're trying to break down. Exactly, because actors come a dime a dozen. That's another thing too. Denzel comes from a theater background. He's very strong in his ability to act. So no, he was not going to do that. And once you set that standard, just like Dave Chappelle said, once he set that standard, like I'm not doing this, they backed off and they left him alone. But some of these actors.
That's all I want to establish. So you can say no.
100%.
Okay, that's all.
But again, it goes back to perception versus reality. The reality is yes, you can always say no, but the perception is I don't really have that choice because I'm trying to build my career, and if I don't do this, it could end my career. But if I do it,
your fans are gonna follow you wherever you go. Your fans gonna follow you wherever you go.
You got to get them first.
If they watch 9 times out of 10, if they watch that movie and they saw him and they liked him in that movie, they gonna follow him wherever he goes.
Right.
And but do they know that? And can we guarantee that? But I will say this though, in this new day and age that we in right now,
I can't stand you.
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah,
I don't think it's necessary for any person to do that right now. And I got a question too, though. Here's my question: if you want to do a movie and you want to put a man in a dress, why not hire a gay actor?
Problem solved.
So that's where the agenda comes in. Why are they going after these straight heterosexual actors and trying to convince them to put a dress on? Why are you not just hiring a gay or transsexual actor?
Right.
That's my question.
Because they don't care nothing about the gay transgender. They want the straight man. They can say, hey, you know what? Yeah, look what we made this big black man, strong black man, mentally strong, physical strong. Let's go out breaking. That's right. Let's break him in front of his whole entire community. Break him down, string him up. And let everybody know that he ain't worth a damn. That's how they look at him now.
And going back to Terry Crews, he talking about getting his sack grabbed, but this brother, and I use that term brother loosely, takes every opportunity to pop his chest in front of the camera. So, like, come on,
undercover.
Yep.
Every time you see
undercovers, these undercovers.
Well, he sure. Hey, when he got his jewels grabbed, he sure did. He acted on that moment. I promise you that he did.
Listen.
Oh Lord.
Got too many.
Terry Crews tried to start the He Too movie.
800 feet tall, 1% body fat.
Like, come on.
Always bouncing around.
He grabbed up. Taylor. He grabbed up.
I am a boy, Damon.
I am a boy, Damon.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Oh my God, wow, man.
Mama says we gonna draw the line somewhere because we on here showing out tonight.
Hold on. Let me read these comments, all right? So we get ready to close the show, all right? Y'all crazy. Well, we're gonna do a part 2. I promise you gotta do a part 2, okay? So Barbara Sims says, where do you draw the line? Yep, we have to draw a line somewhere. Hollis Queen said, it seems the black man has to play a gay role or put on a dress to take their career to the next level. Yep. Brooklyn Betty said, what if Denzel is one of the gatekeepers and he determines what he will or will not do? That's a great comment there. Great comment. What if? The kid that played Big Mama's House, Mark Lawrence did it, and he said he ruined him. Yeah, Brandon T. Jackson.
Yep.
Yeah, he did say that. He said that his career was over with after that.
Yep.
Barbara Sins said, great point, B-Dub. Tammy Guns, appreciate you for joining the show, Tammy Guns. She said she's hollering. Hey, that's what we do. And Hollis Queen started laughing as well. Hey, look, that's what we do. We enjoy each other, man.
We ain't even sipping tonight. That's crazy.
Right. Hey, listen.
And then we just got one that just won't stay on the camera. I don't know why he that way.
Yeah.
There he is.
Listen, so we're gonna have to do a part 2. We're gonna go ahead and go ahead and close the show out. Everybody got their last remarks in, so that way we can go ahead and close the show out, whatever. But we're gonna do a part 2 next Tuesday because we didn't even cover all the questions that we have, that we're going to talk about today, whatever. So I think we only asked like 1 or 2 questions, but we got like 6 or 7 more to go. And I knew that the conversation was going to go this way because of the topic that we've been talking about tonight. So I knew for a fact that we weren't going to get all the questions. So we will will you guys be okay with the part 2 for next show, for next Tuesday? Everybody say thumbs up. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll announce it right now. We're gonna do a part 2 of the Hollywood agenda, but we're going to do it. We're not going to talk about the black man in the dress. We'll talk about something else, but we'll definitely take it there. But go ahead and go, you guys, with your closing comments here.
As George Wallace says, nobody told you we love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. See y'all next time.
Thanks.
Much love, everybody.
Yes, much love.
Listen, the Burning Coals give you the Burning Coals moment today. We'll definitely say this. Make sure that you spend time with your family and make sure you don't allow Hollywood to raise your kids. So, this is the Burning Coals podcast, and we want to say thank you guys for joining the show. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the support that you guys give us. Make sure you tune in for next Tuesday when we do part 2 of the Holly Weird agenda. So we see you guys from Bougie Weirdo, Educated Queen, Miss Q, Jennifer Jamal, and yours truly, Mr. Know-It-All. We will see you next Tuesday. Hit that subscription button. You know where to go. Yes, indeed. We love you all. Good night. Salute.